Today we're going to be painting a fun little painting with palm trees and a sunset and a nice heart around it, as well as some splatters of paint for artistic touch. And today I'm going to be showing you how to paint this. We are going to start with your colors that you're going to need to make this painting, as well as your workspace. Currently, I'm using a piece of mixed media paper, heavy weighted, so it's suitable for acrylic painting. I also have a large brush, and I have a small brush right here. You're going to need a paper towel as well. And whenever we're starting to paint, you want your canvas or your workspace to be horizontal. So the colors that you're going to need, I have some of them on here already from previously. We have the black, yellow, red, blue, and white. So first of all, we're going to start with the background, and the background is going to be comprised of yellow at the top, moving our way down to blue at the bottom. So what I want you to do is get your brush a little bit wet in your water, make sure it's not too wet, and get some of that water off with your paper towel. And then start at the top of your painting, or the top of your workspace, and use the yellow and your big brush to go back and forth horizontally across the top. Use water if your paint is really sticky, or if it's not blending or moving across the workspace very easily. Acrylic paint is a water-based paint, so it is going to help if you use a little bit of water. So paint as far down as maybe middle, but don't go any further than that with the yellow. Next, we're going to make orange, and so to make orange, you need to get a little bit of red and mostly yellow and mix that together. And with that orange, you're going to put it under the yellow, making sure it's above the middle, because under the orange we're going to put pink, so just make sure we have enough room to put all the colors. I'm adding water to my brush and using this water to blend that orange into the yellow. Next, we're going to make pink. So to make pink, you're going to mix red and white. And I'm going to use the same area where I made the orange. So now I'm going to grab white. So I got the white over here and a little bit of red. And now with this pink color, I'm going to put it right underneath the orange. Make sure to add water and blend it upwards into the orange. And keep adding your colors and water until it's all blended nicely. Next, we're going to make purple. So to make purple, you're going to mix together a little bit of red and blue. I'm making this purple in the same cup as I made the orange and the pink. And then I'm going to add this purple right underneath the pink. And add water. I'm adding a little bit more red and a little bit more blue directly onto the workspace, just to make it a little more purple. I'm gonna clean off my brush. And if you have any colors that you feel like you need more of, for example, if you feel like your pink took over the orange or your orange took over the yellow, you can go ahead and go back and make more of the color that you feel like you are missing. So I'm gonna go make a little bit more orange. I'm gonna put my orange right here, adding water. Now I'm gonna add more yellow and work from the top down into the orange instead of the orange up into the yellow. And now I'm gonna make a little bit more pink. So red and white. And water. And I'm going to clean off my brush, and the reason I'm cleaning it off is because I just want to use water to get my my pink and my orange to kind of mix without adding more color to either one. So I just cleared my brush a little, and now I'm just using water to blend those two colors together. Next, I'm going to add blue. So just get a regular blue, you don't need to mix anything to it. And you're gonna paint underneath the purple. And add water. I'm gonna add a little bit of red to my brush and just paint some of that red right on top of the blue. So that way I can blend into the purple, because blue and red is purple. And then I'm gonna clean my brush off again and do the same thing where I just used the water to blend it and not any more paint. Next, you're going to add a little bit of white to the end of your bigger brush, and you're going to just put some horizontal brush strokes in that blue water. You need to hold your brush horizontal to your canvas or to your workspace, so that way you can have a line ready for you to just follow along and move your wrist or your arm, however is more comfortable. And some fast brush movements. You're just trying to grab that white and pull it across the blue, or vice versa, you're trying to pull the blue into the white. I'm going to add a little bit of regular blue after I've done my white streaks, just to give some more depth and darkness back to the blue. Now we're going to be working on palm trees. So clean your brush. We're using our big brush again. And I want you to watch very carefully for this portion. It's important. Pay attention to how I'm holding my brush. I'm gonna get black on my brush, like this. And let's say that where the purple and the pink are meeting, this is where the land is going to be. So I'm going to use my brush horizontally and just do a couple of wiggle strokes horizontally on either side to represent the land in the distance, right? And I'm gonna make it darker on the edges coming out into the center. Add a little bit of water to your brush, but you don't need to add any more black. And you're gonna start at the edge of your painting. It can be anywhere you really would like it to be. Just make sure it's not above or too far into the water. Make sure it's like right in that purple zone. And then we're going to start at the bottom, holding our brush vertical to the workspace, and brush very lightly up and curve ever so subtly, right? And you can go ahead and make it a little thicker. This is going to be the base of our palm tree. You can also go down instead of up if you prefer. You're going to do this a few more times. I'm going to put 2 palm trees on one side and 3 on the other. You can do however many you would like to do. And I'm I'm curving them inwards because we are going to have a heart shape around the outside, and I want to make sure that we don't have any of our trees cut off. So this is how we're going to do the branches on the palm trees. What you want to do is imagine a firework. So they have like five shooting lines that come out from the center. The center for us is going to be right at the top of that line of the trunk. And I'm going to hold my brush vertically again, and I'm going to just ever so subtly curve it outwards and release. And the other side, opposite. And I'm going to do up to 5 or 6 of these per trunk. And they can overlap, that's totally fine. Trees overlap in nature, so don't worry too much. All right, and just keep going with that. Make sure you have a little bit of water and a little bit of black on your brush. It's always better to not have enough black than have too much, because you can't really go back once you have too much black, or it will just take a really long time to get it back to where you want it to be, and you will just have to go over the entire background again. So just be cautious. Now we're gonna go back to the first palm trees we did, and you're going to still hold your brush vertically, and you're going to start from the center of that like shooting star line of the branch, and you're going to curve up and out, but you want to be very, very light. Very light. Look at my brush. You don't really want to put much pressure on there. Just let the brush do the work for you. And then just continue this on all of your palm tree branches. Go ahead and add a little bit more of a darkness underneath them palm trees to kind of show that they are standing or planted on some sort of land. Perfect. Next, we are going to make a heart. So you can use your brush, you can use whichever one you prefer. I'm going to use my big brush, and I didn't leave a lot of room for myself because I had my palm trees a little bit too wide, but that's okay. Make it work. So I'm going to start with the curve of the middle of the heart, like the V, and go from there. So I'm going to just do that V and just curve my heart. Once you have the heart outline, I want you to paint with your small brush actually, and you're going to leave a couple of shapes that are not filled in with black. So what I mean by shapes, imagine you have some water that is splattered on the counter and it has like that water pattern. So basically you're just gonna make a couple of random squiggle shapes or circles or like, you know, any type of shape really, and you're going to paint around those shapes and leave the shapes the color of the painting in the center. If that sounds complicated the way I just described it, just wait one moment and watch what I do here, and then you might be able to understand once you have a better visual of what we are doing. So now does this make a little bit more sense when I when I said make some like random shapes and then do not fill them in with the black, but fill in around them. It almost reminds me of a cheetah print in a way. Ish. Okay, we have one more step. You're gonna want to clean your brush off really well because we're not gonna want any more black. And we're gonna use our small brush again and use white. And for this, we're going to outline our shapes with white. Hang on. All right, and then you can add a small little white highlight to the insides of your shapes, which is basically just a little dash of white anywhere you can fit it. It almost looks like a steak. Maybe I'm just hungry. All right. And now, if you would like to do one more step, I'm just gonna add a little bit of white here. And add some water so I can blend it in. Ta-da! We are finished. Thank you for painting with me. I hope you enjoy your Morazzo masterpiece. Goodbye.